Hello, community. It's Courtney. Welcome to your Yoga Ala retreat. Thanks to Grand Park for this awesome service to our community. This week, I know I usually focus on a philosophy concept. I think it's really important that we remember that yoga is not just the physical practice. That yoga is an entire system of the way that we look at the world, the way we see things, the way we interact with other people, breath, meditation, all kinds of good stuff. And this week I want to keep it really in the asana, so the actual physical practice. I don't know about you all. I don't want to assume that we're all staying home because I know some people are, out there on the front lines working and so forth. But in a lot of the people that I'm talking to, a lot of my other students that I teach are talking about a lot of shoulder discomfort, hips, low back stuff. I think a lot of us are sitting more than we're used to. So I just wanted to offer this week, today we're going to be focusing on shoulders. And then on Friday, we'll focus on the hips and the low back, just so that we maybe can find some strength and stretch and opening for those areas of the body. So today we'll focus on shoulders, neck, kind of upper body stuff. So let's come to find a tall seat. So I'm sitting up on a block. You could come to sit up on a pillow, a book, a blanket. If it's comfortable for you to sit on the floor, by all means do that. You could also sit up on a chair. And then I invite us all here to close the eyes. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Notice what's going on in the shoulders today. Notice what's going on in the jaw and the neck. Without shifting it, without judging it, just notice those areas. Notice if there's tension. Notice if there's resistance. And then see, before we even physically do anything today, if a little bit of awareness into those areas maybe helps soften something. Start to really connect with your breath. Maybe imagine inhaling into your shoulders. Exhaling to release the shoulders. Let's do a couple more breaths like that. Inhale into the shoulders. Exhale to release the shoulders. One more time. Inhale into the shoulders. And then exhale, release the shoulders. Flutter your eyes open. Let's take the shoulders. I don't usually say this, but let's take the shoulders up by the ears. And then exhale, let the shoulders release down. We're going to do that a few times. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Two more times. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale to release. Inhale, the shoulders come up. Exhale, the shoulders release. And then we're just going to take some old-fashioned shoulder rolls. So taking your shoulders kind of up and around and back. Listen to yourself. So I'm only here as a demo. So whatever I'm doing isn't the end all. You could take your shoulders in smaller circles and bigger circles. Listen to yourself. You are your greatest teacher. So listening to what feels good for you here. Let's take the shoulders in the opposite direction. So shoulders come around and down. Moving with your own body. Really nice. Let's take the fingertips to the shoulders here. So we have the elbows extending out from your shoulder tips, And then we'll roll the elbows in and around and down. So maybe this creates a little bit more mobility into your mid-back. Imagine you're drawing circles with your elbows. And then we'll switch the directions the other way. So elbows come out and around and down. Really nice. Release your hands down. Tuck your chin into your chest. Release the back of your head. Imagine you had stones being placed on your shoulders, really sending the shoulders down away from your ears. If you want to interlace the hands and place them on the base of your head, you are welcome to that, to add a little bit more pressure, a little bit more weight, to really ground down. Release in the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders. And then from here, take your left ear to your left shoulder. So option one would be to stay here. You could also place your left hand on your right temple if you want to enhance the stretch. So we're just getting started. I recommend starting really soft and slow. See if you can breathe a little space into the right side of your neck. Can you be gentle with yourself? Can you not force anything but allow? Chin comes into your chest. And then we'll send the left ear to the left shoulder, right ear to the right shoulder, breathing some space into the left side of our neck. And again, if you need a little bit more, you can place your right hand on your left temple, or you stay where you are, softening the jaw. And then we're just going to come back to center, and then we're just going to do some half shoulder neck rolls. So just taking your ear to your shoulder, letting the chin come into the chest. And again, it doesn't have to look like mine. Listen, maybe it's bigger circles, maybe it's smaller circles. Really nice. Come back to center, head raises. We're going to imagine we have like a pencil on top of our head, and we're just going to start to, we're not taking full neck circles. We're just drawing with a pencil on the top of our head. Maybe close your eyes if you start to feel a little dizzy. Listen to what feels good to you. Small circles, big circles. Switch the direction of your circles. Really nice. Come back to center. We're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist here. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can see me. So coming back. So we're sitting on earth. We're gonna come into a spinal twist. So right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh. Left hand comes to the base of your spine. Find length and then start to send your heart towards your left shoulder. Shoulders are away from your ears. So it doesn't have to be the biggest twist ever. We're just getting started. See if by sending your right shoulder down, you find a little space in the shoulder there. Coming back to center. Left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. The right hand is down to the base of the spine. Find length in your heart. And then imagine your heart could reach back for your right shoulder. Send your breath up and down the spine. Inhale back to center. Right hand comes down. Left arm reaches up and over. So we're getting into the side body. We're sending the left shoulder away from our ears. Maybe you look up if it feels okay on the neck. If the neck is like, no, that doesn't feel right today, look down towards the floor. So breathing into your left side body here. Maybe notice if the jaw is taking some of the tension, soften there. Finding your way back to center, left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over. With a little bend in your elbow, ground your sit bones down. Reach your heart up for the sky. And again, if it's too much on the neck to look up today, maybe you look down towards your left hand, the floor. Maybe you look up towards the ceiling. Softening the jaw. Coming back to center, switch the cross of your legs. If you have a cross of your legs, if you're kneeling, you don't have to do that. We're gonna get into the jaw a little bit here. So I'm gonna ask you to make some silly faces. So you're gonna kind of open your face, like make a big like ah face, and then kind of squish your face. Almost like cat-cow in the face. Squish your face together. And then open your mouth, open your eyes wide, ah. And then squish your face. One more time, open everything wide, ah. And then squish your face. Let that go. And then we're just gonna take little mouth chews. So just kind of almost like circling your jaw, loosening up, maybe if there's tension in the jaw. It's hard to talk and do this. Circle the other way. Okay, beautiful. Let's come to hands and knees. So the wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. Your knees are stacked underneath your hips. See if you can press into your hands to lift yourself up out of your shoulders. So instead of kind of scrunching into the shoulders, can you press into your knuckle to rise yourself out? So we're opening in the upper back here. On your inhale, belly drops, heart comes through. Imagine you could touch the back of your head to your bum. And then exhale, round in your upper back, press into your knuckles. Really round in. So we're getting a stretch here. We're pausing here, send some breaths across your upper back. And then next inhale, let your belly drop, let your heart come through, top of head, imagining it could touch your booty. And then press into your knuckles. We'll pause here in our cat pose. So really grounding into your knuckles, releasing your head, pressing to open the upper back. And then inhale, belly drops, heart comes through. And then exhale, last pause here. So press into your knuckles, round into your upper back, let your head go. And then release to a neutral spine. Knees and hips stay where they are. We'll walk the hands out in a V overhead. And then tap maybe the forehead, the top of the head down to the mat. You could put something underneath your head. If the head doesn't tap down, you could put a pillow, you could put a blanket, a towel. So the arms are in a V overhead. The heart is melting for the earth. The forehead's resting down. We're getting into the upper back here, the upper shoulders. See if you can send a breath to anything tight in your upper back or shoulders. From here, hands come under your shoulders. Press yourself up. Inhale your right arm out to the side. We'll thread the right arm underneath the left. And then the right cheek, right temple taps down to earth. We're getting into the upper right shoulder here. If you don't feel anything, gently press into your left hand. Send some breaths into your upper right shoulder. On your next inhale, press into your left hand, replace your right hand underneath right shoulder. Inhale sends your left arm out, and then exhale sends your left arm through, underneath your right arm. So from here, we're getting into the upper left shoulder. Press into your knuckles. Heart is reaching up for the ceiling. Knuckles are pressing down on the right hand. Send some breaths to anything that's tight in your left shoulder. Press into your right hand. Replace your left hand under left shoulder. Walk your hands a handprint or so forward, tuck your toes, and then we'll send our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees as much as you need. Press the weight forward into the knuckles. Armpits are hugging in. We're getting that upper back stretch. The heart's reaching back for the thighs. Notice what the head's doing. So if the head's looking up for the hands, let your head completely go. Let your neck rest in your down dog. Let your knuckles, your fingertips take the weight of the body. Walk your hands back for your feet. Feet can be hips distance, maybe a little wider if the low back is bothering you today. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows or let your fingertips dangle. So really let the head go here. Really let new blood, new oxygen come into your head. Really ground your feet down to earth, soften your jaw. And then nice and slow, pressing into your feet, start to roll yourself up to stand. Find yourself in your Tadasana, mountain pose. So feet are hips distance, arms come out to the side. Look at what your shoulders are doing here. So if the shoulders are up by the ears, send them down. Soften your jaw here. And then we'll inhale, rise the arms tall. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. Press down, especially into your right foot. And reach up and over to the left. So we did this seated, but now we're extending it a little bit more into our mid and lower back as well. Softening your jaw, looking up or looking at eye level. Inhale back to center. We'll switch to the other side. So the left wrist is grabbed by right, press down especially into your left foot, reach up and over to the right, settling the shoulders away from your ears. Softening your jaw. Inhale back to center. Draw your hands to your heart. 3 rounds of sun salutation. See if you can keep your shoulders away from your ears, even when you raise your arms. Inhale, rise your arms, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Let your back go, let your head go, let your neck go. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet, rise your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart. 2 more times, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, rise your arms. Exhale, fold your heart to your thighs with as much bend in the knees as you need. Inhale, heart reaches forward, shoulders reaching back. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Inhale, rise your arms tall to sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart. 1 more time. Inhale, rise your arms. Exhale, heart reaches for thighs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, heart reaches for the thighs, forward fold. Inhale, rise yourself up. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart. Really nice. So we're going to come to a wall. If you don't have a wall, maybe grab a closet door. We're going to take this really soft. So we're first going to take the right arm to the wall. So there's a couple different ways to do this. So you're going to tap your right shoulder to the wall, and then you're going to start to send your right hand back. So if this is the wall, I'm sending my right arm back to kind of create an opening here. So if this is like, ow, too much, you can bend your elbow to any amount. You can take the hand down the wall. So this will be the max stretch. You could take the hand down the wall a little bit. And then we'll just kind of breathe into the front shoulder a little bit here. So this is also kind of like an upper arm stretch. Notice if the shoulders are scrunching up by the ears with some tension, settle them down. How's your breath? And then come to face the wall. We'll take the left shoulder to the wall. You'll probably be facing away from the camera, from the phone, whatever, tablet, computer, whatever you're looking at. And then remember, if the arm's out from the shoulder, that's going to be the max stretch. If that's too much, listen to your body. Take the hand down a little bit. Or you could also bend your elbow or come away from the wall a little bit. So sending the shoulders away from your ears. Really nice. Now you're going to come to face the wall, and we're going to walk ourselves out from the wall. So this is, so my hands are on the wall, around shoulder height, and then I'm going to walk my feet out, and I'm going to maybe find a flat back. Send the shoulders away from your ears, also a shoulder stretch. So come up out of it if it's too much. The more you're sinking your heart down, the more you'll experience the stretch. Let your head go, let your neck go. Breathing into tension, softening into tension, releasing tension on your exhale. On your next inhale, press against the wall to lift yourself up. And then we'll come back to a standing position. We're going to come to a forward fold. We're going to have options here. So I'm going to offer the option to, I'm facing back just so you can see what I'm doing, to interlace the hands, find a little bend in your knees, and then come into your forward fold. The interlace is still at the base of the spine. And then any amount, start to send your arms up and overhead. So if that's like too much on the shoulders, you could come to grab opposite elbows, send the shoulders down. If that's too much, you just come into your fold, release your head. So we'll come in for a few breaths here, grounding your feet down, letting your head release, letting your jaw soften. If you have the interlace of the hands, without slingshotting the hands, release your hands, away from you. We'll walk ourselves out to downward facing dog. So our inverted V pose. And then we'll roll forward to a plank. Remember, plank can be knees down. And I want you to really look at what's going on with the shoulders here. So notice if you're scrunching the shoulders up, see if you can press into the knuckles to lift up out of your shoulders. And if that's not happening, you might need to place your knees down until you get the strength in the arms. So let's listen to the body here. So if shoulders are scrunched up by your ears, that might be a sign to press your knees down and lift up out of the shoulders. We'll take a couple more breaths wherever we are, knees down, knees up. And then hips come up and back to sky, downward facing dog. One more time, forward to a plank. That can mean knees down. And then hips come up and back to sky, downward facing dog. Let's take our knees down, find our puppy dog pose. So knees stay where they are, tops of the feet release. And then walk your hands up overhead in a V pose. Send your heart for the earth. Armpits hugging in. And then we'll find our way back to lift up, and then let's come to a comfortable seat again. So I'm gonna come up a little bit so you can see what I'm up to. So we're in our comfortable seats. We're gonna get into the neck a little bit more here. So you're gonna find that interlace of your hands, and you'll tuck your interlace into the left hip. The left ear goes to the left shoulder. Really send the right shoulder down. Breathe some space into your neck here. And then send your interlace back, puff up your chest. And then interlace goes into the right hip. Right ear goes to right shoulder. Breathe some space along the left side of your neck. Bring your interlace back, puff up your chest. Release your interlace. Send the shoulders away from your ears. We're going to take a brief pause in meditation. So see if you can really send your shoulders away from your ears. Soften your jaw. And for our meditation today, I want you to draw awareness to your shoulders, or if your neck is tighter today, you could draw awareness to your neck. See what might need a little bit more of your TLC today. And for the next minute, I want you to imagine anchoring your breath in that area. So we all know that, well, I hope you know that the lungs are what breathe, but I want you to imagine that either your shoulders were breathing or your neck was breathing. And that's a good visual just to bring energy to the area, release tension from the area. So closing the eyes, soft gaze. A minute here, imagine you're breathing into your shoulders or your neck. And then breathing out, really let the focus anchor in the neck or the shoulders. Let the breath anchor in the neck or the shoulders. Really nice. Let that go. Let's come to lay on our back. So we're going to come in for a couple bridge poses, and we're going to do this to stretch the shoulders out. So fingertips graze your heels, knees are bent over your ankles. Notice where your shoulders are. Send them away from your ears. Press down into your feet, lift up with your thighs, knees point forward. And then if it's okay, we've gotten some warmth and some opening in the shoulders. Interlace your hands and think about tucking your shoulders underneath you. If that's not happening in your body, you can just press down into your forearms. You could also grab the outsides of your yoga mat if you have a mat. But really think about pressing down into your feet, lifting up into your thighs, and pressing down into whatever's touching earth in the upper back, the arms, and send your shoulders away from your ears. On your exhale, release your hips down, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a breath. We're going to come in 2 more times. Press into your feet, rise your thighs, knees point forward, maybe that interlace of the hands. Find lift out of it. Send shoulders away from ears here. On your exhale, tap your hips down. Hand comes to heart, hand comes to belly. Release everything down. And then press into your feet, rise your thighs, find the interlace. Exhale, release everything down to the mat. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Let your shoulders go. And then take your feet a little wider than your hips. Knees fall into one another. And then we'll take the knees side to side like windshield wipers. From here, I'm going to ask you to flip over to your belly. We're going to come into a couple more back bends with the hopes of opening the front of the shoulders. So hands come right around your rib cage. Your forehead taps down to the earth. Toes are going to press down firmly into the earth. And then pressing into your knuckles, imagine yourself, so you're pressing into the knuckles, imagine yourself pushing yourself forward and lifting your heart up. Toes are pressing firmly down, elbows are hugging into the body. We're opening up the chest, the shoulders, send the shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, tap your forehead down to the earth. 2 more times. On your inhale, press down into your toes, press into your knuckles, send your heart forward and up, elbows hugging in, heart reaching, shoulders melting down. Doesn't have to be a big lift. On your exhale, tap everything down. Last one, press into your toes, heart comes forward and up, elbows hugging in, shoulders melting down. How's your breath? Exhale to release. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So elbows come down underneath your shoulders. The forearms are pressing down, and notice if you're dumping in your shoulders here. Press into your forearms. Send your heart forward and through. So pressing into the knuckles, shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you want to draw little circles with the head. Maybe you want to be still here. If you're circling, switch the circles. And then let's find our way back to a child's pose. So knees are wide, wider than the hips. Big toes come together. Sink your hips back for your heels. Forehead reaches for earth. If the hips don't rest down on something, think about putting something underneath your hips. So bring your hips to your heels with a blanket, a towel. If the forehead doesn't rest down, maybe stack your fists. Rest your forehead down on your fists. And then listen to the shoulders here. So let the shoulders come away from the ears. Let everything settle down. Let all the energy settle down in the body. Press yourself up on your next inhale, and we'll find our way onto our backs. So comfortable position on your back. You're going to be here the rest of our time together. So you could come to lay flat on the back in what looks like a Savasana with the arms at the sides, the feet coming out from the hips. If the low back doesn't like that, you could bend your knees and place the soles of the feet underneath your knees. That might be a more comfortable position. So we're going to work a little bit more with this idea of anchoring the breath. So we did a lot of stuff to loosen up the shoulders, to create warmth in the shoulders, to stretch the shoulders. Now we're going to use our breath as a way to release tension. So for a lot of us, tension goes to our shoulders and our neck. So we're going to see if through the breath, through anchoring the breath, we can create some softness, especially in the shoulders, but in the entire body. So first, I want you to place your hands on your belly. I recommend closing your eyes. And just like I said before, we breathe in our lungs, but I want you to imagine that the breath was starting and ending in your belly. And if there's no congestion in the nose, see if you can breathe exclusively through your nose. So watching breath, start in the belly, fill into the belly, and then expand out from the belly. Really anchor the breath in the belly. Maybe starting to let the belly rise and fall a little deeper. Letting the belly be really soft and full of breath. Go ahead and let that go. Place one hand or both hands on your heart center. And then again, we're going to anchor the breath. We're going to breathe in and out of the nose. And we're going to imagine the breath starting and ending in the heart. So as you inhale, maybe the chest expands out. As you exhale, the chest collapses in. Take a few breaths like that, breathing through your nose, anchoring the breath in your chest, in your heart. Maybe allowing the space of your heart to fill fully, collapse fully. Really nice. Let that go. This time we're going to anchor the breath in the nose. So you can, if you want to place a finger underneath your nose, you can. It's a little easier to do that when we're sitting up. Maybe you keep your hands on the body or out to the side. And as we breathe in and out of the nose, imagine the center of the breath starting in the nose and exiting and leaving the nose. Maybe even expanding into your sinuses, your face. Let your face take up breath. Let your face release breath. Maybe allow softening and expanding to take place across your face. Settling your jaw. Breathing and releasing from your cheeks, your forehead. Maybe the mind even starts to inhale with breath, exhale with breath. And then for our last anchor of breath, since we're focusing on the shoulders today, I want you to imagine the breath being initiated in the shoulders and then releasing completely out of the shoulders. So let the breath fill in, take up space. Let your exhales release tension in the shoulders. Maybe there's even a little bit of movement in the shoulders. And then go ahead and let that go. And then come, if you're not already in a comfortable position on your back, go ahead and really make yourself comfortable on your back. So I'm going to come up to camera to just talk us through a few finishing breaths. So this time we're going to let the whole body breathe and the whole body breathe out. We're going to do it 2 times. Let your exhale come out. Full body takes in breath. Full body releases breath. Full body takes in breath. Full body releases breath. From here, let any conscious effort of breath go. We'll slip off into 30 seconds of Savasana, just being a good witness to the space we've created in our shoulders and our bodies and our breath, our mind and our spirit. Starting to bring back some conscious breaths, finding some small movements, eventually rolling over to your right side, and then pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, drawing your hands at your heart, bowing your chin into your chest. I hope your shoulders feel better. And I would encourage us all to just kind of check in every now and then, maybe when you're emailing or moving through your day, just see what the shoulders are doing, see if you can send them away from your ears. Thank you so much for being here with me today, community. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so glad we can come together in this space. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks, Grand Park, for having us. I'll see some of you on Friday, and I hope that you're all healthy and well. Bye-bye.